oh, look at the speed going out here, wow, going back into the pack. You've played the games before, haven't you?
I've played one or two in my time.
Hammer to the floor, mate, come on.
Okay. This is what I've trained for.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be obliterated straight away.
Not straight away,
Okay,
no,
great.
not straight away. Stampede Racing Royale, are you ready?
I'm really excited for this one. I'm really excited for this one.
So what I'm going to show you today, Connor, this build is a development build. Obviously, we're still making it. So the very important thing to mention here is it's 6 players online. It's free to play. And you want to create a level playing ground for all the players to come in and be able to compete against each other. And it's irrespective of how much money you've spent. There's a lot of mastery in the game because of the karting element to it. So you skill up, you play the game, and you get better, and then that's where you will get introduced to equal skilled players. We have this
So I'm not going to be obliterated straight away.
Not straight away. No,
great.
not straight away. When we launch, obviously there'll be thousands of people online at the same time. Obviously, this is pre-launch, so there's nobody online at the moment, and everybody back in the dev team is asleep. So what we're going to do is I'm going to fill up the lobby with AI. Okay, so off we go. It's got boost pads to go over. Here's a pickup. Oh, look at the speed going out here. Wow, going back into the pack. Tracks are very, very well balanced. So the variety there is not going to give you an advantage. It just gives you a different opportunity to take out players. Power-ups are basically around offense. So that's projectiles to shoot and take out other players. Defense, shields, so we have a force field coming in. And then speed, so I've always had the boost power up, and we also got a nitro. You also notice the lasers there, so there's not only player versus player, but you've got player versus environment. I've shortened the laps on this demo, so we just got 2 laps. We could go up to like 10 laps for you know, sort of an endurance race, if you like. One thing I really want to talk about here is the 3-round elimination. So this is round 1. We've got 60 players. Round 2, I've got to be in the top 40. So I better put my foot down there.
I mean, I can kind of tell already, like, visibility is like no problem here. Super clear on where you are, what's happening around you.
Yeah, so I mean, the cognitive load is quite high. You're doing a lot of things. So yeah, it's very important that we communicate to the player exactly what's going on at the time that they need to know. So I've got 4 tracks in this build, but at the moment in development, I've got a dozen.
Oh wow!
And we have reduced down the time for it takes to develop, because the tracks are going to be a real driver, get people to come back into the game. We do a new season drop, and it's like, hey, play this new track, you've not played it before. So what we'll do here now is I'm going to let you play.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, if I got knocked out in round 1 or round 2, I just enter a new lobby.
Jump back in.
Yeah, and you jump back in, off you go. These, you know, it wants to be really quick, so it's very accessible, it's social, and the karting game core is very joyous. And there is, you know, like, because karting games have this mastery in them, it does set us apart from other Royale games. And out at the moment. The traditional tropes of the karting game are all present here. You've played the games before, haven't you?
I've played 1 or 2 in my time. I was going to say, this is kind of like, younger part of me is screaming out that I wish I kind of had a game like exactly like this when I was, but then the older part of me is saying I need to spend as much hours as I can mastering and getting as many wins as possible.
Stacked up behind you, mate.
Yeah, I'm struggling to get some of these power-ups now.
Right, so you've got full nitro though, so hit the nitro button now, which, there you go. Yeah, keep down.
Okay.
Hammer to the floor, mate. Come on.
Okay. This is what I've trained for.
Yeah. When you're drifting, you can actually under and oversteer.
Yeah.
So you can slip it around, and it sort of like changes the.
That's great how that's like almost intuitive to try that anyway, and it's obviously thought about and it's working as standard.
I mean, the whole development team is super experienced. Basically, it's a mix of industry veterans like myself who've worked on some of the biggest racing games. I've got my colleagues as well who've worked on some really big karting games. Sumo itself has a history in karting games. You know, Sonic All Stars, who's also like done some work on Forza Horizons. People on the team that we've brought in from other studios. So it's very collaborative, Sumo, even though it's made up of 18 studios that are spread over Europe and India and Canada. Really is a global business. And there's a lot of collaboration and a lot of cross-pollination. And in fact, we've got people from other studios that are experts in racing games and racing mechanics and driving models to come in and really sort of lift the game, but not trying to make it to simulation and
Sure,
goods.
sure,
It's
yeah.
got to be accessible. It's got to be social.
Yeah.
So you did really well, though. You got through to the next round.
I'm proud of myself.
Obviously, we want it to be like broad appeal, but we also want it to be a little bit, dare I say, edgy. There are a lot of kart racing games out in the market, and we really do want to position ourselves as something new and fresh. We've got a killer USP for the game, which is 60 players racing or online together, which no other karting game has. Give it its own personality is probably the best way to say it. So it does sit away from what are pretty amazing competitors in the field.